Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started. If you all are ready, you go ahead and start sharing my screen. And yes, to our guests, we are recording this, but you are not being recorded. It's just us and the presentation. Ooh, those bird songs. Okay. Okay, so welcome to immune boosting for teachers, but really it's for anybody. These techniques can be done by anyone. So my name is Megan, and I am an MPH student with a concentration in health promotion at George Washington University. And I'm here with my nonprofit wellness cohort. And together we want to give you some easy ways to boost your immunity right at home. Why do we think this is important? Well, with COVID-19 hitting the world last year and us all being stuck at home for most of that time, the importance of having a strong immune system seemed like something we shouldn't take for granted anymore. We at Nonprofit Wellness had the idea to make a list of evidence-based ways to boost your immunity right at home. And out of that idea came this presentation today. So here's the team. And for some of our guests, you might see some familiar faces to you. And you'll meet us all throughout the presentation, and we will have pictures so you don't forget what we look like throughout each immune booster. So now I have the privilege of introducing the first and probably my favorite immune booster of the day, LOL, or laugh out loud. To start us off, I'd love for you to let me know in the chat something that makes you laugh. Funny cat videos, cats. I feel like cats come up a lot. Puns, pets, TikTok videos. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I spend too much time on those though. Your own bad jokes. Same. Awesome. Well, I'm sure we have all heard the saying, laughter is the best medicine. Now, again, in the chat, do you think this is true or false? And I just gave it away. It is true to a certain extent, or at least it can help. And I will show you how laughing can boost your immunity. First, research shows us that laughter helps activate your T cells. We don't have the time to get into an in-depth science lesson here, but basically T cells are specialized immune cells that help you fight off infection. So while laughter isn't necessarily medicine, it certainly can help aid in fighting off illness by activating those T cells for you. Laughter can also lower stress hormones. These stress hormones cause chemical reactions that can decrease immunity. On contrast, laughter can cause our body to release something called neuropeptides, which in essence are proteins produced by our neurons that facilitate our immune response. So what we are seeing so far is that while laughter itself is not medicine, it does set off a chain of events in our bodies that modulate our immune response. And finally, laughter soothes tension. It helps in aiding circulation and muscle relaxation. Both of these can result in physical symptoms of stress if they're not addressed. Again, stress can cause a negative response in our bodies that decrease our immunity. And remember, laughter releases those neuropeptides, which facilitate that immune response. So my time is almost up, and I just gave you a lot of science stuff, so I want to get you that energy right back up. So I want to share a video with you real quick. While researching for this particular immune booster, I stumbled on something called laughter yoga. So I'd love for us to just take some time to try it out. Feel free to stay muted to our guests. You don't have to actually laugh out loud in front of all of us if you don't want. So yeah, we'll get started.
You just lean your head back and you just laugh silent up in the air like this. Take a look. and we just say, instead of getting angry when you argue, you just meet each other like this, and then you argue like this.
Now, y'all did great, I assume, because we're all on mute. But I can put the link in the chat for you to finish the exercises on your own. And it's time for me to pass it on to Roxy for our next immune boosting technique.
Hi, I'm Roxy. For this immune booster, we will learn more about cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy. So the EPA estimates that average showers take about 8 minutes. So how do you like your showers? Personally, I like them cold. Just about a little bit about my background. I grew up in El Salvador, and not having hot water is a pretty common thing there. So that is how I quickly grew to like cold showers. Now let's take a poll. Using your reaction button, give me a hand clap if you like to take cold showers, or I'm sorry, hot showers. All right, what about, or give me a thumbs up if you like cold showers. Perfect. Okay, so today I will try to convince you to incorporate cold showers into your weekly routine. A bit of history, cryotherapy is a technique that has been used in several ancient cultures. For instance, back in 2500 BCE, ancient Egyptians used cold therapy to treat injuries and reduce inflammation. Jumping to 1978, Dr. Yamaguchi started treating rheumatoid arthritis with short durations of freezing cold therapy. So how it works is by exposing the body to extremely cold temperatures for several minutes. It can also be applied to selected parts of the body or the whole body. I do want to point out that cryotherapy is not only the use of cold water, but it also includes cold air and mist exposure. For example, whole body cryotherapy is the exposure to extremely cold, dry air that ranges from negative 48 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 22 to negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit. But a simpler form of cryotherapy has been modified to cold water immersion and cold showers with a temperature of about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So the benefits can vary depending on temperature and time exposure. The evidence shows that some of the benefits of cold therapy are improved immunity, where successive cold exposure has been shown to stimulate the immune response by increasing levels of leukocytes and granulocytes in the body. One of the major functions of these cells is to help the body fight infections. It also helps to relieve pain. It has been shown that water therapy can block nociceptors, also known as pain receptors, and it is also considered a form of stress-induced analgesia. Lastly, it can improve mood. A study showed that whole body cryotherapy can release adrenaline, noradrenaline, and endorphins, which can positively affect depression and anxiety. So I do have the responsibility as a pharmacy technician to disclose that this isn't for everyone and it should not be used on children if you're pregnant, sick, or have other health complications. I now want to challenge you to take a cold shower. So my prescription to you is the next time you shower, turn the handle to cold for the last 10 seconds of your shower. Repeat at every shower time, increasing the time by 10 to 15 seconds. And now the time has arrived for the next immune booster.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoe and I'm here to tell you to consume mushrooms. I do not particularly enjoy mushrooms, and so in the fact that I am telling you to eat mushrooms, they must be incredibly good for you. Some people are afraid of mushrooms, hearing that they can be poisonous and dirty, but I'm here to tell you that all mushrooms are edible, but some only once. However, those mushrooms that are edible multiple times are extraordinarily good for you. Studies have shown that shiitake mushrooms can improve cell functioning and immunity. Others can lower inflammation, and mushrooms, especially porcini, contain high levels of ergothioneine and glutathione, Ergo, mushrooms can have anti-aging potential and boost immune function. Just ignore the science bit. As well, turkey tail can help manage cancer, of course, with other treatments, and help with obesity by lowering your blood pressure. These physical benefits are great, but also many mushrooms can contain protective agents against stress and even cognitive decline. So, as someone who does not like the taste of mushrooms, I'd say the benefits are worth it, especially for those of you who enjoy eating mushrooms. And for those of us who don't, we can always mix it into pasta or a salad, a frittata or something. Here is a recipe I easily found by searching for hidden mushroom recipes. There are many, so go consume some mushrooms. And now the next immune booster.
Hi, everyone. My name is Pavitra, and I'm also a second-year MPH student from GWU, and I'm here to talk about eating dark green vegetables. I remember growing up, I never liked vegetables, and that because of that, my immune system was really bad. I would get sick a lot, and it would really start affecting me academically, in all aspects of my life. But once I changed my mindset about healthy eating habits, I started to explore a lot more. Eating dark green vegetables helps boost immunity in the long run, keeps your energy level balanced, blocks and prevents early stages of cancer, and promotes healthy aging, protects your brain memory, and prevents deficiencies such as anemia. Dark green vegetables are a great source of protein and nutrients, and it is vital to our bodies. When we think of green foods, we immediately think of salads. They're a great source of dark green vegetables and promote wellness. While that is an option, there are many recipes and fun meals where you can incorporate green foods so it doesn't have to be boring. Even if you aren't the biggest fan of it, incorporating it into fun recipes will encourage you to keep eating it. Here's a fun one I've personally tried. The smoothie could be a meal supplement. Personally, I sometimes like it to keep it simple, or I follow the entire recipe. There's different protein options, and I'm still exploring these, like chia seeds, flax seeds. I've personally never tried flax seeds, so that's next on my list to keep things interesting. Lastly, I also like to make snacks using dark green vegetables, and this is a recipe I actually found on TikTok. We're all addicted to TikTok these days, but I wanted to be productive using this app. So I started learning all these fun snacks that I could make. Basically, I just steam the Brussels sprouts, mix it with a lot of garnishing and sauce, and I bake it and I eat it with ranch, and it's really, really good. But I hope that makes you eating dark green vegetables really fun, and thank you. And I will now turn it over to Megan again.
Hi everyone, Megan here again, here to talk to you about eating probiotic foods. Now I know what I think of when I hear probiotic foods, hint, it's pictured here in the slide, but I would love for you to let me know in the chat what you think of when I say probiotic foods, and bonus points if you know what this picture is. Yogurt, that's right, kimchi. Yep, that's what's in the picture. Kombucha, that's another really good one. That's really great. Well, regardless of which food it is that makes you think probiotics, it's good to get them in somehow. But before I tell you how probiotics can help boost your immune system, I need to tell you a little bit about the microbiome. The microbiome is essentially an ecosystem that exists in our bodies consisting of microbes that can be both helpful and harmful. But the helpful ones can help us fight off harmful pathogens and build up our immune systems. Specifically, the microbiome in our guts can help us with proper nutrition uptake and fighting off inflammation, as well as pathogens that enter through us eating and drinking. And probiotics in food and the right supplements can help keep the balance in that microbiome. With that in mind, here's how probiotics can help us boost our immunity. I don't know about y'all, but I have the worst time with inflammation. I have a very high inflammatory response. So anything that helps me reduce that is a huge hit in my book. Probiotics help us reduce that inflammatory response, which isn't a terrible thing, but a prolonged response can be damaging to our immune system. Which leads me to my next point. Probiotic foods are not just great at improving your immune system, they also help you to resist and recover from colds. This could be because many fermented foods are rich in vitamin C, iron, and zinc, all of which are beneficial for immunity. Now, I don't want to tell you something to go do something without giving you some tools to take with you. And not all fermented foods are probiotic foods. So I want to leave you with some tips on finding the right kind of probiotic food. First, go for yogurt over cheese. Yogurt has live microbes that are good for your gut. While cheese is technically a fermented form of milk, it doesn't have those microbes in it that make it a probiotic food. And as we saw earlier, yogurt really is a very common and easy way to get more probiotics in your diet. Kimchi and sauerkraut are also great choices. And if you remember from the first slide, kimchi is one of my absolute favorites. Finally, pickles can also be a good source, but look for the words naturally fermented. Most pickles are brined in vinegar, which actually takes away from the probiotic process. So look for those two words, naturally fermented, or pickles brined in salt and water. I hope that helps. And I will pass it on to, I think, Susan for our next technique.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? I am vipering some power from a car dealership in lovely Laurel, Maryland. So hopefully you saw the post by Anthony Porowski, one of the Queer Eye guys, or many other celebrities about getting a lymphatic massage. And if you haven't, you're behind the trend. So I can catch you up. Lymphatic massages are a form of just gentle massage that encourage the movement of lymph fluids around the body. So similar to how blood vessels transport and move blood throughout the body, the lymphatic system relies on the movement of smooth muscles to transport fluid through the lymph. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but put something in the chat if you can't. So health conditions can interrupt that normal flow of lymph, and then it builds up in particular areas of the body, often in the arms or legs, where it can cause swelling. So some health conditions, cause this buildup, and what can help us relieve it? Well, a couple things. One, lymphatic massage, which we're going to show a video about in a second for you to try. Also, yoga poses, especially inverted poses like downward facing dog. And then you can get a skin brush, which I actually got, and you brush your skin towards the lymph nodes to help that drainage in the cells. Because these yoga movements and the massages and even the brush basically remove waste and toxins from our cells by moving it through the lymph system, and then bring nutrients to the cells. My mom has found that this is really helpful with her sinus challenges and sinus drainage, because you can do massage on your head to drain lymph nodes and cause relief to migraine and sinus pressure. So I'll yield the balance of the time to a video where you can try some of these techniques yourself, and then I'll hand it back over to the interns. By the way, props to Erica for writing this about lymph. I'm just standing in for her today. So thanks, Erica, for all of your great service, and we'll move on to the next immune booster after the video.
Thank you, Susan. Hello all, my name is Inisha, and now I will be providing more information on another immune booster that is something not to consume, to boost up your immunity. reduce alcohol and smoking. Also, being a medical doctor, I will talk more about the scientific research about the chemical composition that weakens our immune system. Next slide, please. Alcohol consumption and tobacco use are closely linked behaviors. I'm sure we all have witnessed that. Have you? Please respond in the chat box. Okay, so many results suggest that alcoholics who smoke are at additional risk of various health hazards. Did you know the World Health Organization stated that drinking alcohol can increase the risk of catching COVID-19? Next slide. So, did you know on average the life expectancy of a smoker is 10 years less than a non-smoker? Cigarette smoking is a well-known risk factor leading to various health issues. The effect of smoking on innate immune function is that cigarette contains tar and nicotine that affect the innate immune system and increases the susceptibility to infections. Next slide, please. Did you know the smoke from cigarette contains more than 45,000 chemicals which have various toxic, mutagenic, and carcinogenic effects? Next slide. So alcohol and smoking has various health hazards. Both can cause lung issues. Alcohol makes it harder for the body to start the response. Alcohol inhibits the cell function. Smoking increases susceptibility to infection, and smoking is the #1 cause of preventable death worldwide. Next slide, please. So my time is almost up, and I would like to request everyone to stop alcohol and smoking. All the scientific research gives valuable insight on how drinking and smoking together is very harmful for health. Statistics of happy hour at bars and restaurants suggested that drinking is a great reason to come to the bar and the restaurants. It is a part of entertainment, but definitely not good for your immune system. So I request you to quit smoking and alcohol consumption. If not, reduce the amount. Time for me to pass it to Sunny for our next immune boosting technique.
Thank you, Anisha. Hi, everyone. My name is Sunny, also an MPH candidate at GW. Today, I'll be speaking to you about the importance of vitamin D. So to start things off, how do you like to have fun in the sun? Please feel to drop some ideas in the chat box. Personally, I like to throw on some music and play basketball outside, but always make sure to put on some sunscreen. Walking, running. So vitamin D comes in 2 major forms, D2 and D3. D3 is the form created within your body. Recommended daily amounts are between 600 and 800 international units. Roughly 40% of the US population is deficient in vitamin D, even people in hot climate and hot places like me. But it is also important to note that the upper limit for vitamin D is about 2,000 international units per day. So vitamin D has many benefits. Research shows that it increases T regulatory lymphocytes, or TREGs, a fancy name for a type of cell in the body that reduces inflammation. This has been linked to treating upper respiratory infections like COVID-19 and boosting immunity. Vitamin D also improves calcium absorption, which is needed to help build and maintain strong bones and reduce the risk of osteoporosis. So how can you add some vitamin D to your life? Well, some good food options include fatty fish, such as salmon, trout, and tuna, egg yolk, cheese, and like Zoe said, mushrooms, of course. Some plant-based alternatives include fortified drinks, such as soy or almond milk, and oats are also great options. The sun is also a great source of vitamin D. Research recommends 10 to 15 minutes of sun on uncovered or exposed skin, although this may differ depending on a few factors. This timing is slightly higher for those with darker skin tones due to more melanin in the body, which functions to protect the body from excess sun exposure. If you live above 37 degrees latitude, that shaded part of the map, the sun may not be strong enough for most of the year, making it difficult for your body to produce vitamin D. That being said, Too much of anything is not good, including the sun. Due to high rates of skin cancer, it is recommended to use sunscreen, even though this slightly impedes vitamin D production. Overall, getting vitamin D from the sun is great in moderation, but taking a supplement may be the best way to safely meet vitamin D needs. However you choose to get your 600 to 800 IUs each day, consuming this with vitamin K has been shown to have the greatest benefits for bone health. Personally, I take a vitamin D supplement every other day with my breakfast, which is usually a bowl of oatmeal, and I'll throw in some blackberries or blueberries to get that extra vitamin K benefit. Now I'll be passing it on to Zoe.
Hi again, it's me, Zoe, again, here to talk to you this time about sleeping and taking breaks. Now, who doesn't like sleeping and taking breaks? Go on, like do the raise your hand reaction if you don't. Exactly. So, comment in the chat box how much sleep you get every night on average. 8, 7, 6, 7. Okay. Well, adults should be getting at least 7 hours a night. So for those of you who don't get that, I'm going to give you a few reasons why you should. During sleep, your body releases proteins called cytokines, which are needed when you have an infection or when you're under stress. So not only is it good for you with the infections and stress, but also sleep deprivation can decrease the production of those necessary proteins. And so then you can't help yourself. Consistent sleep strengthens the immune system and allows for the body to repair itself and be fit. Getting adequate rest can help prevent excess weight gain and heart disease, as well as decrease illness duration. Plus, taking self-initiated short breaks from work in the afternoon has been shown to boost daily work engagement. But remember that breaks don't actually compensate for not getting enough sleep. So go sleep. Well, after this presentation. So you can't go to sleep on me right now, but I did save some time in this presentation for everyone to take a break. So I want everyone here to take 3 deep breaths. Thank you for listening.
Now, after taking some deep breath, now let's move to our next immune booster. My name is Diana Aguilera, and today I am presenting Move with Music. As you might know, the COVID-19 pandemic has interrupted our lifestyle, and social isolation and loneliness can be a little bit difficult to bear. So I turned to music to release my stress. And as a Latina, I really love to move and dance. And I am here to discuss why music has a lot of benefits from the mind, the body, and the well-being. Mood with music improves one's cognitive ability and boosts mental and physical needs. For instance, health therapy treatments are tailored to each personal needs. It can be involving creating, singing, moving, and listening, and it has a lot of psychological healings. Research has shown that music therapy reduces pain and has been demonstrated to have profound effects. Music and dance are key elements of mental health because it releases stress and anxiety. Additionally, music can stimulate the body and it neutrals chemicals such as endorphins and oxytocins. And also, it can help energize our mood and take control of our feelings. Moreover, music-based movement therapy are an effective approach for improving not only the motor functions such as walking velocity and mental health for patients, but also for disease such as Parkinson's disease. Movement is imperative for one's health. And it has been found that music movement helps combat health conditions and diseases, improve mood, boost energy, and promote better sleep. Now, let's stand up and take some movements for ourselves to improve our mood and boost our energy levels. Thank you so much for listening. And now I'm going to pass it to the next immune booster.
Thank you. Now I'll be speaking about positivity. What is one thing you are grateful for today? Please feel free to drop it down in the chat box. Each morning, I start my day off with coffee, of course, and jot down 3 to 5 things I'm grateful for. My kitty, cat and dog, friends, family, of course, great ideas. Cicadas, daughter Megan. So stepping back for a few minutes to either express gratitude, meditate, or practice spirituality has been shown to improve your mood, friendships, and relationships, all while making you more optimistic. Next slide, please. One more, sorry, there we go. So it improves your mood, friendships, relationships, and can make you optimistic in total. Mindfulness is the state in which you are undoubtedly focused on the present moment, acknowledging and accepting your own feelings, thoughts, and sensations. Research has shown that this can decrease your body's inflammation and help you refocus yourself. No matter what your beliefs or values are, spirituality has been shown to protect against depression and stress. Next slide, please. So how can you practice positivity? A great starting point is with the 3 R's, whether that be taking a moment to reflect on your wins of the day, to resetting that internal voice of yours, or even reaching out and letting someone know why you're thankful for them. This can boost your mood and make someone's day. Next slide, please. So to wrap things up, I'd like to do some box breathing, also known as square breathing. For the sake of time, we are only going to do 2 rounds, but doing this for a couple of minutes is best. So 4 is the lucky number in this case. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold the empty breath for an additional 4. And we will repeat that for 1 more round. So you can turn your cameras off for this. I'm going to as well. So just close your eyes. And now, first we're going to breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. And return to normal breathing. With your eyes still closed, let's all just take a deep breath in and then out. Now, when you're ready to come back, slowly open your eyes and turn your cameras on. I hope you are more centered and ready for our last immune booster from Anisha.
Thank you, Sunny. Here I come again. So our last immune booster for today is play with animals and people. Did you all know pets are beneficial for human health challenges? Next slide, please. According to American Veterinary Medical Association, human-animal bond is defined as a mutually beneficial and dynamic relationship between people and animals. So pets are good for mental health. Pet owners have greater self-esteem, more physically fit, tends to be less lonely, are more extroverted, tends to be less fearful, and tends to be less preoccupied than non-owners. Next slide, please. So this is my picture with my dog. Let me share my personal experience with my dog. I used to have strong bonding with her. She was my stress reliever. We shared the beautiful connections deeper than the words. Thank you. Next slide. So playing with people and human and animal bond have like multiple benefits. More physical activity, it acts as an immune booster, stress reduction, increase healing and independence, improve mood, social connections, emotional support. So children who grew up with animals in the home have been shown to have fewer allergies and are less likely to develop asthma than those, and even strengthen their immune system. Next slide, please. Playing with human is great fun and helpful for relieving stress and anxiety. And of course, playing with pets has so many positive consequences. Next slide, please. So dogs work like probiotic, helping you to develop healthy bacteria colonies that in turn boost your immune system. So pet is your multivitamin your body desperately needs. Next slide. So now I would like to conclude this presentation. These are the list of our immune boosters. Thank you so much for listening. We are ready for any questions or queries you may have. Thank you very much.
Yay. Well, first, a round of applause for yourselves and for everybody. So thank you. And masterful management of the time means that we have time for questions. But of course, we take Zoe's advice about taking breaks and like to end things before, the 1 hour point anyway. But let's open it up for questions from the audience. They can be chatted or you can take yourself off of mute. And if our audience is shy, then maybe the cohort, you can start with a question that was authentically spurred during this presentation.
I have a quick question about the dancing. Diane, is there a time recommendation, or is it kind of just whenever you have the chance to dance and listen to music?
I think that it depends. There are some people that they have more kind of on a structural date of what are the things that they're going to do. But other people, if you are just maybe cleaning and you want to listen to music and also dance, that also can help you to kind of release some of the stress. Other people, maybe when they are doing their homework, maybe they or work to just kind of take a 5 minutes break and just move and dance listening to music. Other people maybe when they are before going to bed or in the morning. So I think that it depends on what are your options and what do you like to do the most if you are a morning person and even in person. So yeah.
Thank you.
I also have a question for Diana. You mentioned studying. In your research, did you see any improvement in concentration when studying regarding music?
Yes, there are certain musics that for different people they like to listen to. So some people they like to hear relaxing music, other classical music to just put there, and it depends. What kind of music, but doing my research, it was very interesting to see how for people it was a concentration rather than a distraction of listening to music, and also how that has a lot of effects on health, because sometimes we are thinking a lot of things when we are working and sometimes we cannot do the work that we want to do. but listening to music is concentrating on the beats, on the music, on what the music is saying, and how do you feel with your body in connection to with your body. So that was very interesting to see how doing homework or work that has a lot of concentration with music. And it was very interesting for me to see that kind of connection.
Thank you, Diana. Hey, y'all, I just realized this is still recording, so I'm going to stop recording. Thanks, recorder. And then if whoops,